touch on?
You touch on one of the subjects that's a very, very big trigger for a lot of people, which is essentially the transhumanist movement. This movement that's against humans, right? And it is something that I use also to kind of determine whether or not you have our, meaning ours, the common people, the common man's best interests at heart. If you're not pro-humanist, right, then what's what are you? Because if you're not with us, you're clearly doing something that is not going to benefit the majority of the people. We're not all in an elite position, let's say. And so given that he is one of those people calling for let's say a pro-humanist type of movement, at the same time, I'm not sure what your questioning would be around AI or the Neuralink, which
Hmm.
many people find to be anti-humanist, right? This merging with machines to some degree. And I believe he's answered this. Maybe I've seen it at least in some place, but I'm curious on your thoughts. Where do you find that? Because on one end, of course, we have to put forward humans, humans, humans. On the other end, let's merge with machines and the internet. How do you conflate the two?
What I am concerned about, and the concern I voiced to him, is moving into a world where in order to be quote unquote normal, or in order to be able to compete, you have to be modified. Okay? So if you think of smartphones, in 2018, sorry, not 2018, in 2008, if you didn't have an Apple phone or an Android smartphone or something like that, it was totally fine, right? You didn't need a smartphone in order to get around society,
Sure.
in 2008. But now in 2025, sure, having a smartphone is still a choice. You don't need to have a smartphone, but we're already at a stage where it's pretty inconvenient not to. You might even go to a restaurant and you can't see the menu because you can't scan the QR code, and they don't even have the paper menu to give you, right? You might want to pay for your parking, and there's no longer a machine to put your coins in or to even use with your card, and you have to scan a QR code or use an app, download an app and use it to pay for your parking. All of these types of things, let alone getting into the world of actual work and socializing and all these other things. It's much easier and far more convenient to have a smartphone as an adult than it is not to. So I could see a scenario, again, where I'm not talking 2 years from now, but I could see a scenario in the future where a tipping point is potentially reached and you have all of these people. Are they still going to be human beings? I don't know. Maybe some people would say this is a new evolution in humanity. You have these people who are somewhat merged with AI, and they have got the chip in the brain, and they've essentially got access to the internet just like in their own head without a separate device. And they're performing at a certain level and able to do other things. And just due to game theory, this now creates a pressure where other people feel like, hey, we're falling behind. I guess we also have to do this. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to compete in the future. And maybe as soon as children are born, it's like, okay, the child is born, boom, day number 3, right? Plug them into the matrix. So that's what I have concerns around. Perhaps your concerns are similar. Maybe they're different, but that's where I have those concerns. So it's not about the short term. It's not about the short-term implications. It's more about the long-term, just looking down the line, second, third, fourth, fifth order consequences of introducing this type of technology, especially at the same time where you're having massive advancements in AI, in robotics, in all of these other fields. They're all kind of coming at the same time. And I could very easily see 75 years from now, in the year 2100, there's so many different ways that future could look for humanity. It could look quite similar to what we have now, but just better. It could be a complete dystopia, like a whole world that is far worse by the way we would judge it. And, people are lamenting the good old days before all of this technology took over. Or it could look completely different, but in a sense that people are like, man, how did we even live without this technology? Look at all this human flourishing going on. Look at all this happiness and joy, and look at how connected we are, and look at all the negative things that we've been able to put to bed. So what is that future going to look like? I don't know. I hope that it's going to be better than it is now, but I don't think any of us can honestly say.